What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. This is going to be part of what I like to call the college series, everybody. And I want you guys to grab a pen and a pad because I'm going to talk a lot about numbers, finances. I'm also going to talk a lot about just different things as far as the type of major that you should major in college. And for the sake of this particular video, I'm going to talk about, in my opinion, once again, this is my opinion, the 9 best college degrees that you should get. Right now, everybody, college is insanely expensive. If you're not familiar with it, on average, a typical in-state college costs roughly $92,000 a year. The time I'm recording is in 2022, and that's the average in-state college. The average out-of-state college costs $156,000. So $92,000 in-state, $156,000 out-of-state. And one of the easiest ways to basically lower the cost of college is to apply for a lot of scholarships. I actually have a separate video about that, and I actually wrote a scholarship book. The link is below, so check it out. And I personally went to college, went to undergrad for free, and obtained my engineering degree. And in that book, I basically highlight my journey as far as how I got over $200,000 worth of money to go to school for free. So that's one way you can make college more affordable. Basically, apply to a lot of scholarships, at least 100, and get them. The second way you can make college more affordable, people, is to select the right major. Now, I'm not going to be disrespectful and say what I think are useless majors. I don't do that. But for this particular video, I am going to talk about what I think are the 9 best majors to get in college, and the reason why, and the 9 best fields to go into. And I'm going to use numbers and basically statistics to pretty much back up why I say that. So the first thing I'm going to say is this, people. I don't care what you major in, actually. If you are driven and you're dedicated, there is a lot of money to be made regardless of what you go into. If you don't believe me, take a look at what the top 10% of people in any college, in any field, I don't care whether it's art, whether it's psychology, whether it's communications or whatever. If you find the top 10% of people basically in any field, they make a lot of money. And typically speaking, a person who is college educated on average makes more money than one who is not. So obviously, not to poo-poo my blue collar people, I have a video about that as well. Electricians and plumbers typically make 3 to 5 times more than the average teacher. So I'm not saying that if you don't go to college, you can't make any money. The richest people in this country, in this world, are basically entrepreneurs. The Jeff Bezoses, Elon Musk, those guys are entrepreneurs. So going to college is not necessarily going to make you wealthy, but statistically speaking, the average person with a bachelor's degree, on average, over a 40-year working career, makes roughly $1.5 million more than a person with only a GED. The average person with a master's degree, on average, makes roughly $2.5 million more than a person with a GED. And a person with a PhD, on average, makes roughly $3.5 million more than a person with a GED. This is according to Financipedia. So regardless of what you go into, however, I do want to make this clear. If you basically are in the top 10% of your field, you're going to get paid. Having said that, I will say this: there are certain majors, however, that if you go into them, you are basically guaranteed to have let's just say, a very affluent lifestyle. So what those majors are, in my opinion, according to everything I've studied, is this: science, technology, engineering, mathematics, healthcare, law, and finance. STEM. If you essentially get a degree in any of those fields, you're going to be doing quite well for yourself. Number one, why should you get a degree in STEM? Science, technology, engineering, math, healthcare, law, or finance? One very simple reason: better pay. According to a 2021 CNBC article or whatever, it varies by state, but the average mechanical engineer, the average median salary for a mechanical engineer in America right now is $85,000 a year. I'm a mechanical engineer. The average median income for an architectural engineer is roughly $90,000. The average median income for an aerospace engineer is $100,000 a year. The median income for IT professional, an individual who works on computers and does programming and things of that nature, is $85,000 a year. The median average income for an actuarial mathematician is $150,000 a year. Let's go to lawyers. I said science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, or finance. It varies by region, but according to a 2021 study done by Cron, the average lawyer basically in a small law firm, that's a law firm that has less than 50 people, makes $90,000 a year. The average median income for a lawyer in a medium law firm makes, and by medium I mean that's 51 to 500 lawyers or whatever, makes $150,000 a year. And the average median income for a lawyer at a large law firm, it's over 500 attorneys, can be upwards of $200,000 a year. So law pays, people. Next, let's talk about doctors. The average median income for a family medical doctor in the United States of America right now is $200,000 a year. The average salary, however, of a cardiologist and a neurosurgeon, which is some of the creme de la creme, most educated, highly educated, specialized doctors in the world, is over $750,000. Nursing, let's go to nursing. Nursing, it varies by state. Once again, I said science, technology, engineering, math, healthcare, law, finance. Nursing, it varies by state, but on average, the typical RN with a four-year degree makes $80,000 a year. And a nurse anesthetist on average makes over $205,000 a year. That's more specialized and requires a lot more education. Now, let's go to finance or whatever. The median salary for a financial manager in the United States right now is $155,000 a year. Let's go to science. It varies by state. The average salary for a biomedical scientist is $120,000 a year. The average median salary for a research scientist is $145,000 a year. Like I said, people, I'm gonna throw out a lot of numbers and a lot of statistics in this particular podcast. But remember how I said this: if there are two ways essentially to lower the cost of college. One, apply for a lot of scholarships and go to school for free, and two, get a very lucrative career. Look at some of these salaries I was talking about. Cardiologist, $750,000 a year. Aerospace engineer, over $100,000 a year. Mechanical engineer, $85,000 a year. Nurse anesthetist. Take a look at some of these salaries I was talking about. People, nurse anesthetists, over $200,000 a year. So basically, people, one of the benefits of the reason why I say you should major in STEM, better pay. The next reason I say you should major in STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, healthcare, law, or finance, the unemployment rates. You're essentially recession-proof, pretty much, people, if you get a degree in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, healthcare, law, or finance. Literally, I get a job offer every week. I'm going to keep it completely honest with you. Most of my buddies that are in the medical profession, that are lawyers, that are doctors, that are engineers, that are scientists, that are nurses, and especially the ones of mine I know who are actuarial mathematicians, we get job offers literally every week. So the unemployment rate right now for a mechanical engineer is 1.1%. The unemployment rate right now for an electrical engineer is 1%. The unemployment rate right now for aerospace engineer people is 1.5%. And the unemployment rate right now for a scientist is 2.3%. So typically speaking, the unemployment rate right now in America for everyone else is about 4 times higher than all of that. So let's keep it moving. Let's go to the healthcare profession. Nurses, the unemployment right now for a nurse is 2.1%. The unemployment rate for a CRNA, which is a highly specialized nurse, is 0.6%. The unemployment rate for a doctor is 0.7%. The unemployment rate for a lawyer right now, at the time I'm recording this in 2022, is 1.1%. And the unemployment rate right now for financial majors, such as financial planners, is 2.4%. So basically, people, with numbers like this, you literally, if you have a degree in science, technology, engineering, math, law, or healthcare, or finance, you could pretty much cuss your boss out and you'd have a job within 2 weeks. Why? Because there are not enough of us. And I can say just from an engineer standpoint, every year America graduates less than 10,000 engineers that we need. As a result, many positions go unfilled. It's kind of the same way in the blue collar world in regards to America needs more electricians, plumbers, and carpenters. So the second reason why I said STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, finance, is a phenomenal career to go into, and and those are some of the best majors to get, is because the unemployment rate is so low. Next. It's extremely easy to become an entrepreneur and do your own thing when you get a degree in science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, or finance. So once again, people, the name of this channel is Financipation. I push financial emancipation through generational and ending generational poverty or whatever. I push that basically by financial literacy and by financial knowledge. Another thing that I slowly push in this channel as well is entrepreneurship, because I think everyone, especially those of us who still work in corporate America, should have a business and should be trying to work that business. Why? Because it makes you a better employee. And on top of that, the laws of capitalism, especially in the United States, it basically benefits those who are business owners. So another good thing about when you get a highly specialized degree in science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, or finance, is that you are pretty much a walking business entity. If you are an engineer and you get your professional engineering license, you are a business entity. At that point, you literally can go out and consult at any point that you want. And on top of that, if you work in corporate America, your employer is going to pay you extra money because they know at that point, they can literally farm you out as a consultant to basically bring in additional work or whatever. Secondly, if you pass a bar exam and you're a lawyer, you can pretty much moonlight on the side whenever you want. Obviously, there are legal ramifications that come with that, and there are also insurance things that come with that. But generally speaking, people, when you become a lawyer, you are a walking business entity. Same thing, if you're a medical doctor, When you become a medical doctor, people, you can pretty much work as a medical provider. You can work as a medical professional in home care. You can work for law firms pretty much and basically serve as an expert witness. You can work for police stations and things of that nature. There's so many different things you can do, people, once you become a licensed medical doctor. The next reason why I say you should get a degree in science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, or finance. The thematic value and the self-worth that you get is flat out insane. I designed an art museum in Philadelphia. If you ever go to Philly, you're going to see the Rocky Stairs. If you basically look out and you see the city of downtown Philadelphia, if you look to the left as you're looking, you're going to see something called the Barnes Art Museum. I was one of the engineers that helped design the mechanical systems for that building. And it's pretty amazing because everybody in the world who goes to the Philadelphia Art Museum can see my work. Everyone. Another dope thing about it is my great-grandchildren will walk into that building. Secondly, I helped build one of the largest data centers in the world in Southern Virginia for one of the biggest clients that we have. At the time I helped build that data center, that was literally the largest data center in the world. And some of the individuals I got to meet on that job site, yeah, I can't even tell you who they were. It was flat out insane. Also, let's say you're a medical doctor, right? And let's say you basically save somebody's life. Or let's say you're a scientist who let's say you're the NASA astronaut, or you're one of the scientists who basically figured out how to get us to Mars or whatever. If you are in science, technology, engineering, and math, healthcare, law, or finance, the value that you get pretty much from doing your job is literally insane. So that's another reason why I say those are some of the 9 best majors to get. Next, you get absolutely immediate respect from your peers. Now, this one is a little shallow, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I'll say it to you like this. I've had friends that are doctors, they just walk into a bar and say, I am a doctor. And the reaction they get from men and women is pretty crazy. I'll say it that way. Basically, people, there are certain types of degrees that you get in college: science, technology, engineering, healthcare, law, and finance are some of them, where when you get those degrees, people instantly say, okay, this brother is smart, this young lady is smart, this guy basically is a go-getter, this guy basically is very driven, and people instantly respect you. Actually, it's funny about that whole data center that I was building down in Virginia. I actually had a police officer stop me because I was speeding, and this is during the height of like a lot of the George Floyd protests and everything that was going on. When this cop stopped me, he asked what I was doing in that particular part of Southern Virginia, because there was, let's just say, I'll keep this PC, not a lot of brothers there. Every day I actually drove by a humongous Confederate flag driving to the job site. And on top of that, when I was running at night and running throughout the day, I would see nooses hanging from trees. So actually, I'm licensed to carry. So let's just say I was never unarmed or whatever when I would be running through these particular areas, whatever, this part of Southern Virginia. But anyway, when this cop stopped me, he said, what was I doing in that particular area? When I told this guy I was one of the senior mechanical engineers that was designing that particular data center, that police officer immediately said, thank you, young man. I'm glad you're working on that. That job is bringing billions of dollars basically to this city, and we need it. I grew up here. The city is dried up, and because of people like you, hopefully people are going to move back. So basically, people, you get instant respect when you get a degree in some of these, when you get a degree in science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, or finance. And I'm not trying to poo-poo and belittle other majors. Please don't get me wrong when I say that. Yeah, I think everything in this society, in this crazy world that we live in, it serves a role and serves a purpose. But there are certain reasons why I say these are some of the 9 best majors to get in college or whatever. And one of the main reasons is people instantly respect you when you tell them I am a mechanical engineer. People instantly respect you when you tell them I am a CRNA. People instantly respect you when you tell them I am a medical doctor. So these are some of the things, people, that these are some of the reasons why I say these are the 9 best majors to get in college. Also, before I go any further, please like, please comment, please share, and please subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and it also helps my channel grow. On top of that, it allows me to bring you guys free content just like this, okay? So it allows me to continue to help you guys build your generational wealth. Next, the fluidity across industries. So one of the cool things about when you get a degree, as I said earlier, in STEM, in science, technology, engineering, math, healthcare, law, or finance, is that it allows you to literally jumpstart across multiple industries. As a mechanical engineer, people, I've worked across the entire gamut pretty much as far as what you can do. Another cool thing that I personally have found very, very dope about being an engineer, and I'm also going to extend this out to my scientists, my technology majors, my mathematicians, my lawyers, and my finance majors, as well as my healthcare professionals, is that you get to pretty much break down ignorant stereotypes that have existed for centuries, and you get to change the narrative. So for instance, we've all heard this one before. All Black people are lazy and stupid and dangerous. We've all heard this one before. These illegals that is coming into our country and they're taking all of our jobs. What's interesting about that is that how in the world is Dr. Rana Natanga or a PhD physicist, Dr. Martinez, taking your job? I'll just leave it at that. Basically, people, one of the cool things about being a professional and being having a degree in science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, or finance is that people say, okay, I see this guy and you don't fit any stereotype that I have unfortunately here on media or here in music or whatever. You're not ignorant, you're not dangerous, you're not lazy, you're not stupid, and you're not quote unquote taking my job. You're doing something that I can't do. You're basically helping our country. You're basically building our country. And one of the things I love personally about being an engineer, and I see this as well as my medical friends who basically are also minorities, is that you get to literally change the course of how people can view you. If you think all quote unquote all black people are lazy, stupid, and dangerous, and you have a heart attack and you wake up and your cardiologist is African American, or you think that basically everybody in this country who's of a certain ethnic hue and they basically are south of the border are here taking your job, and you basically walk into a room and the CEO of that company pretty much is of Hispanic origin and things of that nature, it literally I've seen it literally change people's mindset to say, wow, I was completely wrong about these folks all along. I remember I was doing a deposition down in Miami, and there was a building that I had to walk by every day. And I've always been a 3:30 a.m. guy. If you follow this channel, I work out a lot. And this particular job site, I would get up, I would work out in the mornings or whatever, about 4:35 a.m. I'll be wearing a hoodie when I work out. And then afterwards or whatever, I would get dressed and go to work. So for this particular day, it was one of the days where I was wearing a hoodie. So as I was wearing this hoodie walking down the street, I literally had an individual run across the street to get away from me. The next day, basically, I was doing a deposition for a courtroom, and I was wearing one of my two-piece suits or whatever, really fly watch and everything, and looking extremely professional. That same individual basically, started looking at me and like they basically started flirting with me. So I was just like, you do realize I was the same guy that yesterday you were running from, right? And the person was honestly shocked and they were embarrassed about it. I was like, I was the same guy wearing the gray hoodie yesterday. Basically, people, I say that to say this: you get to change people's narrative about how they view you when you get it, when you are in certain, depending on your major. And it's not just science, technology, engineering, math, healthcare, law, or finance. But I find when a person sees a quote unquote black doctor, or they see a quote unquote Hispanic lawyer, or they see a quote unquote Indian IT professional, see a quote unquote minority professional in a field that they typically don't see us in, it literally can kind of get the wheels moving, just like it did with that cop, and it changes their mindset about, okay, what could potentially be going on. And about that, I also want to say one other thing. Right now in America, there are 42,000 black men that are lawyers. There are 26,000 black men that are doctors. There are 80,000 black men that are scientists. There are 160,000 black men that are engineers. And that's 300,000 professionals that are lawyers, doctors, scientists, and engineers. There are less than 1,000 black men people in America that are in the NFL. There are less than 300 black men that are in the NBA. So there are over 300,000 black men that are scientists, lawyers, doctors, and engineers, and there are less than 1,000 black men that are in the NFL, and less than 300 black men that are in the NBA. There are over 100 times more of us that are professionals than I basically run up and down the field or run up and down the basketball court. So how in the world is it that we have allowed the media to pretty much paint us in a negative light? And actually, I apologize. It's not 100 times more. It's over 1,000 times more of us. So basically, people, sometimes we have to change the narrative. And when you get a degree in science, technology, engineering, or math or whatever, it changes that. And for the record, there's also less than 1,000 black men that are signed as rappers. So 300,000 brothers that are basically lawyers, doctors, engineers, and professionals, and there's less than 1,000 black men that are rappers. But somehow the media, that's all they portray us as rappers, as basketball players, and as football players. And there's nothing statistically accurate about that. Keep it moving. STEM fields also put you in extremely elite circles and networking groups. So when I say science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, or finance, have you ever seen some of the circles that surgeons roll in? Extremely elite. I can say just as well, construction managers. I have more billionaires in my phone pretty much from working with some of the projects and working some of the things that I've worked on than almost anybody in my circle. Just from basically some of the jobs that I've built. Lawyers are also pretty much synonymous with politicians and with politics. And regardless how you feel about politics or whatever, that's essentially where power comes in this country. So the STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, and finance, puts you in extremely elite circles. That's another reason why I say that's one of those, these are some of the 9 best majors to get in college. Number 9, you change the world literally for the better. And this is the one that I like the most. The civil engineer that figured out how to create the Hoover Dam that brought water to billions of people. Think about how happy that person has to be. The mechanical engineers who figured out how to create spaceships that eventually took us to the moon and eventually going to take us to Mars. Think about that for a minute. The mechanical engineers that created things like the MRI, artificial limbs, and the internet, and the IT professionals, that created the internet. Think how that has basically revolutionized our society. The doctors and the scientists that created and found the cure for tuberculosis, polio, the polio vaccine, COVID. Think how good that had to make them feel. Or how about this? This is my absolute favorite one of all. The lawyers who basically struck down those racist Jim Crow laws and basically helped bring in the Civil Rights Act and the Civil Rights laws and all those things of that nature. Think how powerful they had to feel. Think how good they had to feel. Or how about this one? Scientists like Albert Einstein that created the Manhattan Project and ultimately radar that essentially won World War II and defeated the Nazis. Think about how good that felt. Basically, people, scientists, engineers, technology majors, mathematicians, lawyers, healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses. You literally get to do things that change the course of the world. They change the course of humanity. They change the course of history. And that's one of the reasons why I say, people, no disrespect to the other majors out there, but if you want to get a degree and something that's going to change the world, if you want to get a degree basically, and something that's going to basically make sure that you always have a job, that you get paid quite well for it, that's why I say science, technology, engineering, math, law, healthcare, finance. Those are arguably the best majors to get in college, period. So in closing, everybody, hopefully I didn't offend too many of you, but I just want to basically say some of the reasons why I believe those are the best majors. College can be expensive, but if you pick the correct major, you study hard, and you specialize in the correct field, college can easily be one of the most lucrative, financially lucrative, and best decisions of your life. Think about some of those salaries I was talking about: $150,000, $95,000, $100,000. You can make a very good living doing that, and that's just basically working in corporate America. That's not that's not including the fact that you can easily moonlight on the side. So basically, the 9 reasons why I say STEM are some of the best majors to get in college. 1, better pay. 2, it's recession proof and it has low unemployment. You can literally cuss your boss out. You have a job the next week. Ease of entrepreneurship. It's extremely easy to transition to moonlighting on the side if you're a professional engineer or you're a licensed lawyer or you have a medical board or you're a CRNA. It's very easy to pretty much moonlight on the side. 4th, the thematic value and the high self-worth that you have. When you tell somebody I am a mechanical engineer, when you tell somebody I'm a licensed medical doctor, when you tell somebody I'm a licensed lawyer, it feels good. I understand, yes, it's a little vain to say that, and I understand it's a little can come across as a little arrogant. At the end of the day, people, those are extremely hard fields to get into. I know because I'm one of them, and it feels very good to be to walk into any environment and tell people, yes, this is what I do for a living. Another thing kind of goes hand in hand with that. You get immediate respect from your peers. There's a certain way that people look at an individual and say, I am a medical doctor. There's a certain way I notice that people know somebody and they say, yes, I am a senior lawyer at this particular law firm. This is what it is, people. I didn't make the rules. It's just kind of how people look at it. Another dope thing pretty much about the STEM majors is that it allows you to pretty much transition across multiple fields. As an engineer, I've worked everything from the construction side of engineering, to the design side of engineering, to the legal deposition side of engineering, to the inspection side of engineering. I've done the entire gamut, and that's what I love about engineering. There's so many different factors you can go into. The next thing I love about it, it breaks down stereotypes. Once again, it's very hard to say these quote unquote people are taking my job when Dr. Ranatanga went to college for 14 years and basically he's a neurosurgeon. And you basically struggle to get through high school calculus. So it breaks down stereotypes. It also breaks down stereotypes. We say everybody that wears a hoodie basically is this, this, and this. But that same doctor you see wearing a hoodie basically as he's leaving the gym could be the same person operating on your grandfather tomorrow and keep him alive because he's a cardiologist. So that's something else I love about being the STEM fields. It allows you to quickly and emphatically destroy and break down ignorant stereotypes. Another thing too about it, number 8, STEM, it puts you in extremely elite company. As I stated earlier, I got billionaires in this phone from some of the projects that I've worked on. If you go to certain lawyers or doctors and engineers, some of the clients that they work on, some of the circles that they're in, the amount of wealth that goes around those circles are insane. And then lastly, the thing that I find ultimately is the best is you get to change the world for the better. The lawyers that basically struck down the Jim Crow laws and basically instituted civil rights all across this country, God bless them. And I seriously mean that. Once again, this channel, Financial Patience, is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. So with that, everybody, please like, please comment, please subscribe. This one was a little long. I know I basically cut a lot of information, but these are the kind of things, parents, when your son or your daughter is saying, Mom, this is what I want to do for a living. What should I study in college? Kind of push them a little bit toward those fields, because take it from me, people, it gives you a type of lifestyle that it's the stuff that dreams are made of. Okay, take it easy, everybody. It's your boy Chris. God bless. I'm out. Peace.